Hello, boys and girls. We are going to be using our watercolor set. So you might want your watercolors out, a brush, water, and paper towel or a wash rag. All right, boys and girls, we are going to be creating a heart painting with a cascading spectrum or rainbow moving through it. You don't have to do rainbow colors. That's Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. You could choose maybe a color scheme of blues or greens. We're going to try to have them cascading down and the heart rising up. All right, what I'd like you to do, so you will be happy with the symmetry on your heart, is to take a piece of paper, this is a little stiff piece of cardboard, and fold it over. And you are going to create a heart on this little paper. Now, the first step in making a heart is to make sure you're working on the fold. Here's the fold. Finger on the fold. Go down maybe ½ an inch. Mark your paper. You make a little V shape. Half of a V, I should say. Not an entire V. Just half. The right half. And then you're going to go up, around like a big arch, and you want to bring it back to nearly the bottom and cascading kind of at a diagonal line down. If you're not happy with what that looks like, you can always redraw it because this is going to be your stencil. I'm kind of happier with the second one. You choose which one, or you could redraw it here. This is a stencil. This means it's reusable. You're going to be tracing it. So it really doesn't matter if I have a couple drawings on there. I kind of like the smaller ones. I'm going to use the smaller one. And because, of course, I created this half a heart on a fold, it will be a symmetrical heart. Oh, it's cute. It's really chubby. And here you could trace out of either shape. If you like tracing around the edge of the positive shape, go ahead. If you'd rather trace at the negative shape, I'm going to use a negative. So I'm going to set it where I think I might want it. On my paper. I probably should have made it a little smaller. This is a really big heart. And I'm just going to use this. Now this is great. Now I have this stencil. I can always go back into it. And if I was to do a painting with like a lot of hearts, I can use this so that I have the same shape heart, if that's what I want. Or I can make some different ones. So keep these for later. I kind of wanted to cascade down. It doesn't have to be perfect. So this is going to be one part of a rainbow color coming down. And I always have to turn my paper to get a good arch because our hands move like a natural arch. So I'm going to use the natural movement of my hand. Now, that's not a perfect arch, and that's okay. I'm not a machine, and neither are you. There's one band of the rainbow. I'm going to have a different band of the rainbow over here. And I might paint wet on wet. That means I'll wet the paper a little bit before I add the color. It's a different technique for painting. So here's one band. I might leave some white space and move to my second one. Now you can see that I'm sketching. I'm not drawing really dark and heavy. Artists generally lightly sketch their ideas out before they put their permanent mark down because they often erase and figure out what they want exactly. Okay. Of course, you're setting yours up probably much differently. That's perfect. Whatever design idea you have, That's the way it should be. You create your own. I'm just trying to give myself this fun band experience where there's bands of colors coming down. Don't forget about using stencils, creating your own stencils, because then you can keep repeating. And here we go. And of course, I might erase some of this and redraw. I kind of like how this side is sort of squared. And that one's more curvy. Okay. Oh, I need clean water. Sorry about that. I'm going to do wet on wet. Let's see. Here we go. Water. Paper towel. All my colors have been used already, so I don't have to wet them. I'm going to wet this paper, and I'm going to go right to the edge. And then I'm just going to add color inside softly like that. And I want to mix colors a little bit. Oops, I forgot to wash my brush. Well, they were close in color. You can see already I've wet the paper too much. It's starting to buckle. Wet to the edge. And then I'm going to drip color in it. It's really not moving very well today. I don't know why. I think it's the quality of my paper. Or maybe that I have it on a piece of glass, so maybe that's ruining my paper. All right, wash my brush. I'd like to add some different colors in here. I'm trying to be careful not to ruin it. It's too much water. Right. Instead of your classic spectrum of colors, I think what I'm going to do is, this time I'm just going to go with dry paper, because this paper isn't the highest quality and it's not acting properly. But I might want to blend into a different color here. So I'm going to wet this edge and then start my blend into purple maybe? Oh, look. My heart is moving around. I think I'm going to take it off of this glass. I think it'll work better on paper. Sorry about that. Purple. I'm going to blend into another color, maybe back into blue. Practicing gradually changing into a different color. Let's try that with a different one. How about a green? Start with the green. I'm going to go up a little bit. And then I'm going to gradually move into another color. You can practice maybe with this green. Oh, it's too close in color. I have to move into something else. Let's see. Lighten it. Get the water. Start adding a little water. And I think I'll go into, this is like a lime green. Not different enough. And one wasn't dramatic. On the upper right side of the screen, you can see the difference between wet on wet paper painting and painting on a dry piece of paper. The watercolors have a very distinctive look when it's wet on wet because the colors will blend together a little bit better. When you're using a wet brush on a dry piece of paper, it has more of a distinctive edge. So it's kind of interesting for you to play around with color mixing when the paper is wet because the paints will blend together better. All right, you can decide some techniques. Maybe you'll try a little of both techniques. And of course, you do not have to create it like the spectrum. Just start practicing different colors, blending into one another. I'm doing a little bit of dry brushing. A little bit of making sure my edges meet so I'm not going on wet paper right here. You can try different techniques. Enjoy yourself, boys and girls. Alright, boys and girls, you can see I'm using a little bit of both techniques here. Adding some color in the center. Your designs, of course, will be pretty different. Everyone's got some great ideas of their own. And just enjoy yourself. Thank you.